I'm here to ask you the question, what if Fortnite did a Transformers themed season? Battle Pass, map changes, POIs, mythic and legendary weapons added to the loot pool, and so much more. This is Fortnite Cyberfall. My Transformers Fortnite season. We're gonna get to the part where everyone actually cares, the Battle Pass. At Tier 1, we have Starscream and the Seekers. Now, the way Starscream is going to work is, if you've ever played the Alien Invasion season of Fortnite, they had a customizable skin where you could make your own alien elite soldier. It had different color schemes, parts, eyeballs, mouths, all that stuff. So Starscream is going to act very similar. Throughout the seasons, you can get more and more quests that give you more color schemes to add to your Seeker. That's right, you have Starscream, Thundercracker, Skywarp, Acid Storm, and Sunstorm as a base. There's very clearly select colors that are supposed to represent Transformers, but then you get even more color schemes to make your own original Seeker. So the first item in the Transformers Cyberfall Battle Pass is an image of Starscream, and it is a comic cover, so more people go out and read the comics. Next to it, we have a Unicron emoticon. It's a little emoji, and it's Unicron getting closer and closer, and then opening up all those teeth and his horns, getting ready to eat a planet. Next is another emoticon. It's Coronation Starscream. It's Starscream looking very shocked, and then turning to dust like he did in the 1986 movie. Next we have another loading screen from the Transformers IDW comics. This one depicts everyone versing against Unicron. For that is the theme of the season. Then we have the skin of Starscream, where he will have an equipable crown as well as his coronation outfit. Then, for his back bling, we got Starscream's wings. So you can run Starscream and the rest of the Seekers without wings. But if you do run it with wings instead of a separate back bling, these also act as a glider. Starscream gliding into the match will ignite his thrusters, and he will glide to the ground. Next we have Starscream's wing sword. One of his wings detach and become a blade like an armada, and that will be his pickaxe. Next we have another back bling, which will be Swindle. Swindle from Armada is a little minicon that was Starscream's, and it is going to be his back bling here in case you don't want to use the wing. And lastly, on Starscream in the Seekers page, we have Thundercracker's dog from the comics. It'll be an emote that you can interact with, and it's just basically your Seeker picking up the dog and just petting him. Next we have RC. First of all, we have RC's loading screen, which is her in green light from the IDW2 comics. Next we have a fuzzy dice emote. Basically, it'll just pop up the words RC. Next we have our first lobby track, the classic Transformers theme that can be either instrumental or with the vocals. Next we have a built-in emote where essentially RC connects her legs together and the wheels on her legs, and she can traverse around the map using a kind of hybrid of the Bayverse design as well as this unique Fortnite design. Next we actually have the skin for RC. Her edit styles will be the normal pink edit style you see here, but it'll also be the black and pink Combiner Hunter's outfit. And lastly, an edit style that is blue and pink for Transformers Prime. And we have car door wings, kind of like how Bumblebee has it. That will be her back bling. And then we have her flame swords from IDW as her pickaxe. And then for her glider, we have Skylinks. Skylinks will be used by no one because you won't be able to see where you're landing. And lastly is essentially just an edit style where you can equip a visor to each of these versions or not, like in Rise of the Beast. The next person in the Battle Pass is Cosmos. You might be wondering, they wouldn't add Cosmos to Fortnite. He's a bit too obscure, and he's only really been in like Earthspark recently. Shut up. This is my video. When you make your own Transformers Fortnite season, you can have any character you want. I'm putting Cosmos in it. First off, Cosmos has his own loading screen, which is him fighting off the hordes of Sharkticons in the Transformers Optimus Prime IDW comic series. Next we have an emote. Cosmos will bring out a telescope and assemble it, and then look through it, and slowly a bunch of planets will form around and spin around him like in the planetary room in Transformers Fall of Cybertron. Next we have another emoticon. The Sharkticon basically looks at you and then bites at the screen. This is a reference to the intro of Season 3 of G1. Speaking of Sharkticons, his pickaxe is the ball and chain tail of a Sharkticon, seeing as he's seen destroying a horde of them in his loading screen. Next we have Cosmos. Cosmos's edit styles will be blue and yellow for Pathfinder, as well as his evil shattered glass colors. Next up we have Cosmos's glider, which is just his alt mode he rides on. And for his back bling, we got Payload. There was a figure that I bought that came with a little mini-con called Payload. He's essentially a little NASA rocket ship, and if you pet him, he transforms. He kind of acts as the Rocket Raccoon back bling of this season. Next we have a spray of Doc. Doc is one of the little medical droids from the IDW that Cosmos ends up befriending. And lastly we have a lobby track for Cosmos. This will be very synthwavy and spacey. It'll just be a song called Lost in the Cosmos, as a reference to my video. The next character is Soundwave. Soundwave's loading screen is him and Optimus Prime fighting together in the IDW comics, because that is what the story of this season will be. It'll be the Autobots and Decepticons preparing against Unicron, because Soundwave is leading the Decepticons here. Now the reason that is, I'll get more into in the story section of this video, because I actually have a storyline thought up for this Fortnite season. Next up is another emoticon, a Decepticon Megatronus decal. It'll open up and say "Rise Up," as a reference to Transformers 1. Next we have a lobby track. This will be kind of like Cube Queen's soundtrack, where she's basically just singing about her evil plan. This will be a heavy metal hard rock Soundwave soundtrack called Soundwave Superior, listing out basically the Fortnite story of this season. For his pickaxe, he has two interchangeable edit styles, the Laserbeak pickaxe and the Ratbat pickaxe from Animated, where they're guitars. Now we have Soundwave's actual skin. He will come in Sound Blaster colors and Shattered Glass color. We have the entire Decepticon warship, the Nemesis, as his glider. Next we have a back bling form. Essentially these will be a bunch of cassettes. You can change them, they will transform on your back. It'll be Rumble and Frenzy. Next we have his upper back bling, which is a mini version of his G1 transformation, which is the little tape deck player. And we have his built-in emote. Essentially he presses the button on his shoulder and it opens the tape deck player. It'll eject a random minicon, either be Laserbeak, flies around, perches on his shoulder, Soundwave will pet it, and then it will go back into his chest, or it'll be Ravage. Ravage will pop out like that one llama alien emote from Fortnite, and Soundwave will pet him, and he'll transform and go back inside Soundwave's chest. Now this takes us to the moment everyone has been waiting for, G1 Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime in his Rise of the Beast appearance already is in Fortnite, and I wanted to make a brand new Optimus Prime since not a lot of people got him. So you can have a G1/Marvel Comics Optimus Prime with cell shading. I think it's fitting considering Skybound is bringing back the Marvel Comics. And Fortnite and Marvel seem to have some kind of deal considering the fact they got 2 Marvel seasons before we got a Transformers season. First up, we got his loading screen, which you can see in the background, which is from the Marvel Comics. Next we got his glider, which is the Arc. Next we got The Touch by Stan Bush, which is a Transformers classic. I can't believe they haven't put this in Fortnite yet. Next we have a built-in emote, where Optimus Prime puts down an Autobot flag amongst a bunch of rubble, kneels down, and Peter Cullen himself would reprise his role as Optimus Prime with a small voice line when you do this emote as Optimus.
The Autobots will never sacrifice freedom.
And I think that would be cool, and I can definitely see people spamming this. We have the Optimus Prime skin, which I already explained, but it will have a Nemesis Prime edit style. Speaking of the Nemesis Prime edit style, we have Optimus's classic Energon axe, which you can change from either orange or purple, depending on what character you're playing as. Next, for a back bling and pickaxe combo, we have the Star Saber. Essentially essentially it will rest on your back, but you can unsheath the sword and it takes it from your back bling to your hand. Another back bling we have is the Autobot Matrix of Leadership. The Matrix will be reactive, where it will be empty if you get down, but it will be full once you're at full health. And we got a spray of Cybertron, so Optimus Prime can remember what he's fighting for, and the planet he left behind to come to Fortnite. And for tier 100, we have Shockwave. Now, I'm sure you might be thinking this is a pretty interesting pick for tier 100 instead of just Optimus again, but I didn't want to just repeat and have Optimus be tier 100. So we have the Decepticon mad scientist Shockwave, who will play a very vital role in this season and how they actually get to the Fortnite island. First, for his loading screen, we have that moment from Skybound where he's bringing Cybertron to Earth and he says, "Let the harvest begin." Next, we have a Decepticon banner icon, because how do we not have one yet? I want to represent the Decepticons while I'm out there getting dubs. Next, we have a loading screen of Kaon City, specifically near the city Triptychon, which if you're a Transformers fan you'll recognize because this will actually be a POI on the map. There will be Kaon, there will be the Kaon Prison Pits, as well as Triptychon City. I'll go over more of that in my gameplay video. Next, we have an Energon emoticon. Essentially, it's just 3 cubes stacked together and they will glow. Next, we have Shockwave as an actual skin. He will have an edit style where he becomes Shock Blast as a reference to Energon. And then we have his Shattered Glass version. Shockwave might be a bit of a challenge considering he has no left arm, but I've seen Fortnite make that work before with Kit Bash, because he has like this weird magnet claw arm. He can't exactly hold a gun, but Fortnite found a way to actually make it work, so I'm expecting something similar with Shockwave here. Next, we have a spray that says "All Are Dead." You can spray this onto any surface. This is a reference to the Marvel comics, that one issue where Shockwave's standing next to a wall that has "All Are Dead" scraped into it. Now for one of his back blings, we have his alt mode, which was a gun in G1, so you can have that on your backs. Next, we have a built-in emote, which is one of Shockwave's many drones you'll find across the map, especially in Shockwave's lab at Triptychon Station. This will be a built-in emote where essentially it does a little dance for Shockwave and then disappears. And lastly, we have the Cortical Psychic Patch, his back bling, which will be a cord running from his head to his blaster arm, and a reference to Prime. But I have one more skin to show you. No battle pass is complete without the secret skin. For the secret skin this season, we have Hot Rod / Rodimus Prime. This will appear later on in the season, at least a month after it started. You'll be able to unlock this character. First of all, we have a loading screen from Transformers More Meets the Eye, my favorite comic book of all time, where Megatron turns into an Autobot, and the crew of the Lost Light go on an adventure to find the Knights of Cybertron. Please read this comic. And as a reference to that series, we have a little emoticon, which is the Rod Pod. Essentially an escape pod in the shape of Rodimus's head, because he's so self-centered like that. For our last lobby track, we have Dare from Transformers the movie. This is basically Hot Rod's theme song in this movie. Next, we have for his back bling, the shield he uses in Transformers the movie. His skin starts off as Hot Rod, but you will get a built-in emote where essentially the Matrix will drop from the ground. Hot Rod will look shocked and try to catch it. He will catch it, raise it up, and turn into Rodimus Prime. But if you do want to return back to Hot Rod, you can do the emote again, and he rips it out of his chest and throws it away, disregarding any responsibility that comes with it, like in that one G1 episode. And for his edit style, he will get the Lost Light colors, where essentially he becomes purple and blue. On his page, Rodimus has another emote, which is called It's a Whopper Alright. Essentially, a fishing rod appears and you catch a fish. It can either be a small fish, a big fish, and it will be based on Fortnite, or you'll find one of the piranhas from the movie, and Rodimus will quickly throw it back. Next, for his glider, I had to include it. It's the entire ship of the Lost Light. I love the Lost Light ship, and I would use it on every class I had if it was in Fortnite. Next, we have a built-in emote. Rodimus will cross his arms and ignite his flamethrowers, making an X, and it'll look very cool. And lastly, we have his pickaxe, which will be a hand pickaxe. His hand will turn into a buzzsaw, like in the 1986 movie. Wow, I put like no V-Bucks in this pass now that I'm looking at it. I guess you're at a net negative if you actually buy this pass. The last thing I want to talk about with this battle pass is the super edit styles. That's right. So first of all, for the first set of super edit styles, Midas will actually come back to the Fortnite island, and there will be a pool of water that Midas will touch, and it will turn into the Golden Lagoon from G1. All of the characters from the Battle Pass will then soak in it and get gold-plated variants. Next, there will be a small side quest where you can find a jar of the Hate Plague on the Fortnite map, and this will lead into the second tier of super edit styles. And lastly, there will be quite a bit of Dark Energon the longer Unicron stays in orbit above the Fortnite map, each week adding more and more Dark Energon to the map. So we're gonna have the last set of super edit styles be Dark Energon themed. Anyways, thank you so much to Sake for doing this amazing intro cinematic. Do I think Fortnite will ever do a Transformers season? Probably not, but I really hope so, and I just thought it was a very fun concept to make into a video. It's something that I think about a lot. You're gonna want to check back in the next video of this series when I go over the storyline, the map changes, the loot pool, and much, much more. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.